I just stopped it and started it again, so we should be okay. And so it started back up. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it looks like we should be going now. Oh, what's wrong with my tab button? There. Now we should be going. Okay. So let's go back into our introduction here. We have our amateur EU, the amateur week number 2. It's for the Alpha Team League. We have the Psionic Aftermath Yankees against lMMl. And very quickly, I'm Kidnot01, and along with me is Faith. And so we are in game number 1. It's a best of 5. So do you want to introduce our protest player?
Sure. Yeah. So in the top left-hand side of the map, we have the crazy Protoss mastermind Xenodor.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, we are on Neon Violet Square playing for lMMl. Our green Terran player, it's Revo.
All right. So yeah. Apologies to everyone if we missed out some. If you missed some of the stream, by the way. Yeah. So this is pretty much just standard openings from both players. You haven't missed anything important, I don't think. Yeah, so we're just gonna go into a normal game from here.
Yeah, it looks like Xeno is basically doing Stalkers, and he's got a Twilight Council down. So would you say probably Blink? Looks like potentially.
Yeah, it's looking like a Blink Frigate normal. Probably into a fast third base is the most common to do with this. And just control the map with Stalkers.
Oh, okay. And then our Terran player looks like he does have a bunker down. He's making some Marines. His factory is complete, but he hasn't started a starport or anything yet.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The Terran is like kind of making. So he went for a really fast factory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But he then did not swap it onto a reactor, so he's like just making a single cyclone, I guess, to make sure it doesn't die to some sort of blink all in, maybe.
Right. Yeah, and he has the bunker down, so he has the cyclone now. He has a tech lab.
Yeah. So maybe he's gonna go into some sort of. Yeah. So here's the second rack. So this is looking like the normal, like, kill the third base tank push kind of build.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is very common on, especially on this map, because this map is a little bit hard for Protoss to defend both locations. Like, if he expands outwards, that is, if he expands to his back base, then pretty much the tank push shouldn't do any damage.
Mm-hmm.
But if he takes the outer one, which is the more common one, then the tank push can be really scary because you can set up in this big open area with a lot of Marines and tanks.
Right. Right. Couple of Marines moving in toward the third base, but Xeno had a couple of Stalkers there, so maybe he's just trying to delay that third base just a little bit. The other thing about this map is with the chokes on the natural ramp and Terran being able to seize that up.
Oh no! Sorry to cut you off, but Xeno just lost 3. Yeah, that was 2 Stalkers to single Cyclone. Wasn't microing at all. That's a pretty big blow early game, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt. I was watching somebody stream yesterday. Was it you that was saying that you thought 5 Stalkers would take out the Cyclones if you even if you didn't kite them at all? And it was
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I wasn't paying attention. I just sent 5 Stalkers into my main to deal with a double Cyclone drop, and 2 Cyclones killed 5 Stalkers because I wasn't microing.
Yep, and then the Stalkers were able to go into where he was taking the third. He actually took out the command center he's building. It was canceled, and then the Cyclone came back, and because of the damage it took, the Stalkers were able to take the Cyclone out also. So now there is no third base for Revo, and the third base for Xeno is just about done.
Yeah, it's interesting. So like he kind of went for the normal like the tank push opening, but then he tried to take a fast third instead of getting more barracks. So now he kind of like Xeno just denies the third base easily because he has Link Stalkers.
Right.
Uh, and he took his own third base. He's getting a ton of upgrades. He's gonna have charge soon. He's skipping a little bit on probes, but you know that happens in Diamond.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a game that, and it may have been in this, I'm not sure if it's this tournament or not, but he was really late on his upgrades, and he mentioned he thought that cost him the game, and I noticed he doesn't have any forges down.
Yeah, and this is the exact build too. So this build, I gotta take some credit for this because I literally taught him this build. It's probably the most common one in ProDOS, so it's not that big of a deal. But like, he's gonna go into like really fast 4-base mass sell it with only 3 gases, which is what he's doing right now, and just a ton of observers and control the map.
Oh, I see.
And the problem with this this build has is that it falls off really hard if you're not ahead on upgrades.
Right.
Because
when
Bio beats sell it straight up.
Right. Now, when would he normally be putting his forges down?
It's already late, man. Like
Oh, okay.
the forges, you usually put down the forges the same time as you make the third base, pretty much.
That's what I was thinking, and I think that is actually what cost him the game last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's got a couple of observers in his main base that, so he doesn't have them out on the map.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you really need those to spot drops because that's another. This build really has 2 weaknesses. It's doom drops because if they drop in your main, then your own buildings are gonna block your zealots. Makes it really hard to get surrounds and stuff. Yeah, and it's really hard to play.
Yep, exactly. Now, if he had the observers to the right of his main, he could have either have a few stalkers there or warp in. He's got 6 gateways, so he could shut down pretty much any drop into the main base. But as of right now,
you just warp in 6 stalkers and you kill the medevacs easily.
Right. Yeah.
But right now he's making so like this build. Contrary to the looks, it's actually quite hard to do because you need to constantly be building buildings, building pylons and stuff. Like he does not have. So like look at he's floating 2k money because minerals because he expanded really fast, right? You expand really fast with this build.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of money. So you need to constantly make gates, constantly make a 4th base. Yeah, he's finally doing that. It's also very late and upgrades and all that. You need to constantly spend your money because you're investing so much in getting a lot of money.
Sure.
Sort of. So like, it's kind of hard to macro this build because especially at like diamond level.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, I remember I used to coach a Protoss player, and it took me forever to get him to make the extra gateways, to spend the extra money that he was able to get by doing a really solid opening macro build. And I finally convinced him that when you do that, I mean, you got to put like 10 gateways down, get your forges up, and be spending that money. I also see that he's got double robo and the robo facility, and so it looks like he's trying to go into Colossus.
Yeah, so this is the natural follow-up to this build, but it's usually not this early. Usually you do this off of 5 bases with like 80 probes is when you start transitioning. So he's doing this a lot earlier, but I guess he just realizes that he has so much money, he needs to spend it on something, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, you see, he only has 3 gases, so like he's gonna run out of gas real fast with this. He's gonna he can't really afford 2 robos off the gas geysers he has right now.
Right, and I see he's taking that pocket expansion in the back, so it's only got the 4 mineral patches, but he does have the 2 gases. He doesn't have the gas in his 3rd base. He's now putting that in, but he doesn't have the geyser made in the 3rd base, so he's definitely going to need to do that.
And he's really been skipping on probes. Like usually at 10 minutes, you should have like 90 probes for this build. Like, that's like the strong part of this build. You get so much economy, so many units.
Right.
And it doesn't matter that they're low-tech units because you have good upgrades and you run over your opponent.
Right. It looks like the Terran player was moving out, and there was a small hit squad of stalkers there. He was able to actually take out 2 of the tanks, and then he recalled back to his 3rd base He's got a couple of Colossus out, and Extended Thermal Lance is just about done. But again, he's only working on 3 gases still.
Yeah, so his next, like, he can't make more Colossi right now. He doesn't have the money. But this fight should go really well for him, even though he's down on upgrades. Like, there's Colossi and there's a lot of Marines.
Yeah, and then he had the Zealots in the front tanking all of the shots. He finally moved them around, got them in the front, so he's able to clean that up fairly easily. Army supply is actually up 87 to 73, and the worker count is just about even, although Terran does have the mules.
Yeah, like, honestly, the Terran should be ahead right now, but he's not. He's also, like, making some pretty serious mistakes. Like, he had half his army at home during that fight.
Right.
Like, imagine if he had, you know, he lost his entire army and he still had the same army supply as the Protoss.
Right.
Like, that should tell you something.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but just I mentioned there that he was able to take two tanks out just as he was moving out, so he didn't have that extra tank support behind his Marines and his Marauders.
Yeah, and that's what kills the Colossi too. Like, you can easily right-click Colossi with tanks, and they die real fast. Like,
Right.
tanks destroy. Oh no, he's gonna get his tanks caught out again.
Yeah, he actually moves into the 4th base of the Terran player. Now, there's quite a bioforce there, and he doesn't have a warp prism. But the Zealots are coming to the front. There's one Liberator there, but the Blink Stalkers are going to be able to take that out. Looks like he's going to be able to clean this up. Now, if he had a warp prism and he could warp in a bunch of Zealots here, that would definitely help. He is going to be able to take out the 4th base. He's got the Blink Stalkers that he's going to be able to take that out. And there's still a small force there, but the Army supply is 85 to 55 in favor of Xeno. There's the warp prism now, so he's going to be able to warp in those Stalkers. I think, again, to your point, he's still working off from 6 gateways.
Yeah, it's way too few. You should have like 14 when you're on 5 bases.
Right. Yeah, especially if he's going to be warping in a bunch of Zealots.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did get a couple of warp-ins there, and he's able to move in. There's not much of a really army there for Revo. He does have some Vikings there for the Colossus, but the Blink Stalkers are in the front. They're able to clean up all of the Vikings, and now he's just moving in and taking those. He's not target firing the Vikings, actually. 2 of the Colossus fall, with now a 3rd one falling, but he's basically cleaning up all of the army supply, and he is warping in some more Zealots, and we get the tap out by Revo, and Xeno takes game number 1 to put Psionic Aftermath up 1-0.
Yeah, decent showing from Xeno. I honestly, I definitely think he could do better. Like, I've seen him play a lot better than that. But it's cool to see him win, though. Like, it is a tricky build. It really is. Like, your timings have to be precise, and you have to make a lot of gateways, like a lot more than you think. You sit there and you're like, I have no money, but like in like a minute-ish, you'll have way more than that, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
The way that I do a lot of my coaching is I really try and emphasize the macro part of the game and really get that economy going. But the way I explain it to them, you have to think at least like 2 minutes ahead of time. How much money am I going to have? You know? And so to your point there, I mean, 6 or 8 more gateways, and he could have warped in 10, 12 Zealots easily and some Stalkers. But no, he did a great job. Glad to see them take number 1. And like I say, that puts Psionic Aftermath up 1-0 in the best of 5.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, let's see what's the next player up. I think it is Goon. Want to say it's Goon.
He played well last week. He actually was he actually played in the ace match last week, and gave him the reverse sweep there. So his name is also John, correct?
Yes,
okay.
He uses both, which is why it's really confusing.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they called him Goon, so I just said John. So I guess if he uses both, that was not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can totally use John. I don't think he minds. It's just like it's. When I came into the chat, he was called Goon, so I just stuck with it. I also think it's funnier.
Yeah.
Fits him very well, honestly.
Does it? Yeah. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
getting to know some of the players because I haven't been with you guys all that long. But everybody seems really good in Psionic Aftermath. It's a great clan. So it looks like our next map is going to be on Backwater.
Yeah. Interesting map. Has a lot of drop locations for a Terran player like, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be a TBT.
Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting. TVT. So this is probably, everyone's gonna mass up. Oh, never mind. He swapped to Zerg.
Oh, did he?
TVC, yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, again, this map though is it's interesting with that little pocket expansion that they take for their third base. But I actually think that it's a little bit easier for Zerg because with the spore crawlers, they do so much better than like cannons or anything else for dropping their third.
Yeah, for sure. It is like I know John's playstyle in PvC is very centered around tank drops, and he plays tank marine like everyone does, but he does this. He likes doom drops a lot. So, like last time I saw him on this map, it was against Jardoser, which is a GM Zerg.
Right.
That was in the MVP tournament. And he honestly did a lot of damage with some of his drops, but then he sort of started overdoing it, and he flew into like a bunch of spore crawlers and lost some to Hydras. So like, yeah, he has some issues with dropping too much, but he's definitely very good at the drop play.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of room on this, especially in the main base, to do a lot of drops on that base.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, if you want to introduce our Terran player.
All right, sure. Yeah. So down here, my PsiX nemesis, my practice partner that hates cheeses, is Psionic Aftermath's Goon.
And in the upper left-hand corner, playing as our purple Zerg player, it is, looks like McCooey. So it looks like he's just going to be opening up hatch gas pool. Fairly standard for Mr. John, or Goon as we know him. Looks
Yeah.
like probably a Reaper expand.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Probably Reaper expand into Fast Factory. And then we'll pretty much see where he goes from there. He did, like, he's this kind of guy that has like 3 set builds that he does in all matchups. One of them is a mine drop, one of them is a tank push, and one of them is the 2-1-1 build, right?
Right.
And I've even seen him try mine drops against Zerg, which is something that no one ever does. So
Yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't really, like, the problem is Zerg can see it with their creeps, so they can pull away the workers immediately.
Right.
And then, the mines are almost always gonna die, and queens can tank mines and so on. There's a lot of bad things in mines against Zerg.
Sure. So it looks like, I'm thinking that's McCooey. He did send his overlord toward that third base to look for proxies, and then now he's going over toward the main base.
Yeah. Standard overlord spread. Probably gonna place this one right above the net. So you can spot a potential fast third base and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Keep an eye on the army.
Yep.
Is this big ass advantage that Zerg has, that they always have vision thanks to overlords and creep?
Yeah. Well, it looks like the Reaper's going to get into the natural base, and there's no lings out yet. So he didn't get any. Ooh, he's getting a surround on the Reaper with his drones. Oh, he just barely gets it out of there to get those lings out, or to get the. Just barely got the lings and the queen out at the same time, so he was just a little bit late on making those lings. Did he transfer? Yeah,
that could have been really bad for either player. Like, it could have been a lot worse for the Zerg. Like, he could have lost 3 drones there, and that's not something you can really do to a single Reaper. And Goon could have also lost his Reaper to drones, and that would have been, Yeah,
that just shouldn't happen ever.
Yeah, that would have been the new PsiX meme on the.
Yeah, no doubt. So the Reaper does make it back into the natural base, and again he makes an extractor to save one of his drones. It looks like he was able to save one of them. He did lose one in the first time the Reaper was in there. He's now taking a second gas. He went ahead and left that into his natural base.
Yeah, standard. I mean, I think he has link speed already, right? He should. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Like, if it's 2 gas without link speed, that means pretty much always it's going to be some sort of Nidus Roach on.
Right, with queens.
Not,
yep.
Yeah, with queens. That's not what we're looking at here. Looking at a pretty standard macro opening. From both players, honestly. And Goon is, like, this is some... He does have Widow Mines already, so this is looking like the Widow Mine drop. Yeah, it's going to be a Widow Mine drop.
Yep. He picks up the 2 Widow Mines. Looks like he's going to go in toward the main base. I don't believe there's any Overlords to the right of the main base of the Zerg
He did
player.
fly past one now, though. He flew past one right outside his net. 2 of them, actually. And a watchtower. So, yeah, he should definitely see this.
Yeah, he's got one Ling at the watchtower, so he should see this. He is pulling up all 4 queens, so he's not going to... doesn't look like he's going to get anything done with the Widow Mine drop.
Yeah, this should do nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is more like what I expected it to do last time, too. It's not supposed to really do anything. Yeah, or you might even lose the medevac. Ooh.
Well, he was able to pull the Lings away, but yeah, he only got the 1 queen, so he's got the extra queen, so that shouldn't be too much of a big deal for him. Didn't get any drones.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that's not what Goon wanted to happen.
No.
But, yeah, you know, it's better than not getting anything. Like, honestly, if the Zerg microed better, he could have lost only 2 Lings if he just sent 1 and 1.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, yeah, you know.
Yeah, so we had the Overlord get into the main base of John, and it actually supply blocked him. Actually, quite a bit. 56 out of 50 supply.
Man, he made 4 Overlords, too. That's not something you want to do often.
No. And he's also going to take out the other Overlord that was on the high ground vision, but with the medevac, he was able to scout that. Looks like he does want to move out with... he's got 1 tank and some Marines, and is he trying to get another...
Here comes that Doom drop that he's going to do. Oh, I feel like... Oh, he's super supply blocked, so he's not going to get the medevac out.
Right. I noticed as I was waiting for the 2 more medevacs, because it looked like he wanted to pick the other 2 tanks up, and now he is producing those now that he's not supply blocked anymore. But it looks like both players got into some pretty severe supply blocks.
Yeah. So it looks like the Zerg is just spreading creep and massing up drones at the moment. He has very little armies. Like, if John actually gets in here and, like, sieges up behind the mineral line on the 3rd or something, and it's going to be, you know, Lings in a really bunched up area against Marine tank.
Yeah, the army...
That could be really scary for the Zerg. But...
Yeah, the army supply is only 50 to 23, and I don't believe he has any other tech. I mean, he doesn't have a Roach Warren, I don't believe. And he's getting... +1 on his Lings. He's just now putting down a Hydra Den. So, did he... Yeah, he's moving in toward the 3rd base, and there's no spores or anything down, so he's going to be able to do this Droom Dop completely, take out that 3rd base with no problem.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard to deal with. Like, the tanks are going to focus down the Banelings when they come in, and you can always pick up the Marines, right? So this should be the 3rd base dead, and, like, he might even push further, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Hydra Den just completed. There is a lot of Banelings, but like you say, with that tank support, he should be able to move in toward the natural base.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he pays attention, he can always pick up the Marines. When the Banelings try to come in here. Oh my god!
Oh, he must have manually detonated those, didn't he?
Blow up. He hit the blow up Baneling hotkey. Oh no. Oh, what a way to lose the game.
Oh, he manually I wonder if he's using the same hotkey as his injects, because I've done that before.
Oh no, yeah.
You select the Banelings and then you go to inject and it's the same hotkey. Oh, what a disaster.
He blew up 17 Banelings with it. Oh my god, that's...
Oh, so John takes number 2 for Psionic Aftermath, so that puts them up 2-0. I forgot to update the score there after that first game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that
Oh, I'm
was.
so happy I got to see that because it's been so long since I've
Yeah,
seen someone do
can
that.
somebody clip that for us?
That should definitely be clipped. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, anyway, so Psionic Aftermath takes a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series on a kind of a critical mistake by the IMMI clan. The player there, Zerg player, he manually detonated 17 banelings before they could move in on those Marines. But wow, you don't see that very often.
Yeah. It's really painful. All right. So who's up next? I think it's Snap from us. Yeah,
Yes,
looks like it's Snap.
yes, and then
Cool. Yeah. That's a really good. He's like a low master player as well. He's quite good.
oh, okay.
Uh,
What
I think
race
he
does he
is.
play?
I think it's Protoss. I want to say
Oh,
Protoss.
okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure.
okay.
I just remember I watched him in the MVP, no, MVD tournament. Yeah, okay, so he's Diamond because he played in the MVD tournament, so he's high Diamond. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, he's listed as Diamond, so
Oh, okay.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Snap now and then Daunted last.
Yes, Daunted. I talked with Daunted quite a bit. He plays in the Proxy Tempest also, and he and I, we've kind of become friends. We talk quite a bit. He streams a little bit, but not a lot. And he just got Diamond 1.
Nice.
Yes. He works hard at it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great feeling when you finally get promoted. Like when I got Masters the first time, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no
It's
doubt.
just such a great feeling to have your practice rewarded like that.
Yeah, no doubt. On my, I have a Twitch stream that I do my coaching on, and I put all the promotions there, and then I have a Discord, and I put those in there because, once you get up into Platinum and Diamond, those promotions really mean a lot.
Yeah. I love how you said race check when it was me and Warren.
Yeah, right.
I was like, wait, I'll play. What is this? I can't cast my own play.
Oh, looks like we have a ZBZ.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, CVC. Oh, Snap is Surg. I guess he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was wrong.
Yeah. So this is going to be played on Acid Plant. Make sure I change the scores when we get in there.
Yep.
So we could be looking at our final map in the tournament being a best of 5 and Psionic Aftermath being up 2-0.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's up to Snap to close this out. Otherwise, it's going to be Ace players again. That will probably be. I'm guessing they'll pull out Goon. It's usually Goon for this team, so yeah, it'll be cool to watch. I almost find myself rooting for the IML team because I want to watch another game, but
Yeah, it's always nice on a best of 5 to get into a game, at least a game 4. But yeah, we'll see. But as of right now, it doesn't look like we're going to see any 13-12s or 12 pools. So, what do you think about ZBZ? A lot of people, you got some that love it and some that hate it, like any other mirror matchup. But it can definitely be explosive.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's not a bad matchup. It's gotten a lot better. It used to be really, really volatile. It used to be like, okay, he made 5 links, you made 6, so you win.
Yeah,
But,
right.
It doesn't work like that anymore. It's a lot more micro-intensive, and
Well,
it's overall a pretty fun matchup, I'd say.
Okay, I'll go ahead and introduce our player in the upper left-hand corner. It's our red Zerg player playing for IMML, trying to get the match to be able to continue to a game number 4. It's our red Zerg player. It is Snap D. Whoops, I guess that is for Psionic Aftermath. I misspoke.
Yeah, happens. All right, and down here, actually playing for lMMl is Speedy Masa.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in ZVZ, I think that you know, there's a lot of different variations definitely to the opening. I mean, a lot of times it goes into Lingbane and Roaches and sometimes Hydras and so on, but just the openings can make a big difference. I think even more so compared to some of the other mirror matchups.
Yeah, I think it's like, I am a true hater of PvP, so like, I'll say that one is worse,
Hmm.
but because that one is a lot more coin flippy. I feel like CVC you can actually out micro your opponent and do stuff like that.
Right,
It's
right.
like even if you open up, 15 hatch, whatever, 18 hatch against 12 pull, you can still win. While as in PvP, it's a lot more like whatever it's a lot more like he went this build, you went this build, you lose.
Right.
Like you can't really
Right.
win if you open up DTs against Blink, right?
Yeah,
Well, the
exactly.
Blink guy can.
Right. Looks like Snap D, he wanted to take a really early third expansion. I think they both produced 4 lings, but looks like the Banging Nest is coming down for Speedy Masa. And now it's also coming down for Snap D, so he is going to have the earlier expansion.
Yeah, so this is a bold expansion. I mean, to be fair, it's gotten a little bit more common in CVC to see like a fast third
Hmm.
because people have gotten so good at Bane defense. But like usually you see a spine crawler with this or something, I think at least.
Typically, you see a spine crawler if they open up gasless.
Hmm. All right.
Um,
Yeah, that
but
makes sense.
yeah, it looks like yeah, it looks like the Speedy Masa is just going to warp in a couple of defensive bangers. He is making more lings, and but also Snap D's making 12 more. So looks like he's going to be okay as far as the lings. But it looks like Speedy Masa might want to play just a little bit on the defensive side, and now he's getting ready to take his third base. So Snap D definitely is going to have his third base done. It's actually done now, and Snap D is moving around the map toward the third base of Speedy Masa.
Yeah, that's a lot of lings. There are
Yeah.
Bane lings, of course, but
Hmm.
if you are really good at this micro war, you can definitely outplay the Baneling player with links. In a weird way, links beat Banelings and Banelings beat links like that. Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
He
that
just
was
blew up all
good.
the links from.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just blew up. He got all the Banes for one ling,
yeah. And
one or two lings.
now he's got a bunch of lings, and he's got 6 or 7
Oh no!
banelings.
All these connections.
Oh,
Yeah, now Snap is just destroying him.
oop.
Oh, yeah. He pretty much traded one ling per Baneling for Speedy Masa, and Speedy Masa traded like 7 lings for each Baneling.
Yeah, and he's got a large amount of lings that are in the natural mineral line of Speedy Masa. He's cleaned up
Yeah.
all of the drones and all of the queens, and now he's just going to move out. And I thought maybe he'd go over by the third base. You know, that's something new that that I've been noticing lately is that they're using their banelings to take out. They don't send in their banelings into the mineral line. They're sending them into the army to take out all the lings, and they have all their lings left over to take out the mineral lines.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because it's like it really is like who ends up with the most lings after the Banelings die. Because even if you have less lings, if you have Banelings alive, you can still like play it well.
Right.
But right there, like Speedy Masa had his Banelings on A move, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and that just means like if he sends one circling forward, the Baneling's gonna immediately detonate on that circling, and that's obviously not a good trade. Again, it happened again. He just got another Baneling
Yeah.
with 2 lings.
Yeah, now he is moving in with a lot of his lings. There are some banelings there, but last time I checked, he had 54 lings to
Ooh.
25 for Speedy Masa. Look at
Look
the
at the amount of
banelings.
Banelings. No. Oh shit! He just blew up all the Banelings.
Oh, now
Oh.
all of the lings pretty much gone for Speedy
That's-
Masa, and he's very
cheap.
low on the drone count. So he's moving up into the main base with all of his lings, takes out the queens, and he'll be moving into the mineral line. And now he's taking 7 banelings also in the middle line, and Speedy Masa taps out, calls GG, and looks like Psionic Aftermath is going to take this 3-0.
Yeah. Wow. That was a lot more one-sided than I thought this would be, but
Yeah,
So we had some incredible games from some really good players. Like Snap is definitely one of the best diamond players out we have in Psionic Aftermath, and Goon is Goon.
yeah, right, right. Yeah, he
So yeah,
definitely got the
very
better of the
cool.
engagements on that one though with his banelings, and then
Yeah, for sure.
he had
Yeah.
a ton of Zerglings left over. So, but yeah, looks like Sonic Aftermath is going to take the week number 2 in a 3-0 or 3-0 fashion. So yeah, that was definitely quick, but some good games, like you said, especially the first 2 games were real crisp builds, and then this one he dominated in the ZBZ.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the games looked fairly one-sided. The first one maybe being the what's it called? Uh, well, that one wasn't so one-sided. But I don't know. It like uh, like Psionic Aftermath just played it really well today. It's great.
Yeah, I think like I say, I think their build orders were a little crisper, and the I know that Zeno, he did a really good job with this, even though the production facilities and so on. But I think great build orders against the opponents, and I think that's just an testament to Sonic Aftermath, how you guys work together, and you're really good about teaching each other builds and stuff like that. So that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it definitely does. Cause like yeah, but pretty much Goon has taken all of his builds from Kuna, who's like the best Terran in the clan, and then uh, like we make a big like most GM players in Psionic Aftermath spend a lot of time like teaching the lower level players their builds and like coaching and stuff, which is extremely helpful, of course. Like
Yeah.
that really builds the strength of that is the strength of a team, right? It makes that's why it's a team.